Hi everyone, so time for some first impressions really of Mansions of Madness. I would normally say this is a review, but I have only played this a few times and it's all been on the first scenario. We've had different results in the first scenario, different endings and things, but we have only played that, and since I'm on my own today, I've been expressly forbidden from trying out the new versions and spoiling them for myself without playing them with Rachel. So this is a great game. From what I've seen so far, I have really enjoyed this. I don't particularly go for the thematic dice rolling kind of games. As you can see behind me, it's Euro, Euro, Euro usually, but there are exceptions to that, and this has definitely been one. The app, I don't have a problem with apps in games anyway. I enjoyed the integration of them, and this does it really well. It takes out the real busy work of arranging the scenario, handling all the AI for the enemies, doing the puzzles and things, and makes it co-op as well. That's the biggest thing. That's why I'd seen Mansions of Madness before when it's come up in sales and things like that, but just kind of ignored it because that's not something that we would like to play. One person plays the dungeon master, the other person is trying to work against them to satisfy their own objectives. We didn't really care for that, but fully cooperative, it completely changes it and shot up my interest list. It was number one on my Gen Con list that I did last week, and after playing it and getting it now, I am quite bad for getting ridiculously excited about things, and then when they arrive and I get them, I've been too excited and end up let down by a lot of things. But Mansions of Madness has really met my expectations. I knew going in what it was going to be like. That there is, like a lot of these games, there is a lot of luck involved in dice rolling and things, but there is a lot you can do to mitigate that. And the exploration of the mansion, the storytelling that's coming from the app, even in this limited scenario, it hasn't. I've played it 4 times now, I think, and it doesn't change that much. Like for this starting scenario, I haven't even noticed the layout change in the times that I've done it. Maybe that's because I'm only playing with the second edition components. Maybe if you had the first edition, it would change more. But in this particular scenario, I haven't noticed any tiles even being in different places. The things in the rooms have been different, and the monsters have certainly been different. Like in this playthrough here, I went a completely different way and ended up getting to the objective. I'll try and be a bit vague about it in case you didn't want it spoiled. I've ended up getting to the objective a lot quicker than I usually do by going a way I hadn't gone before. And it felt like when I got to the objective that the app punished me for being so quick. Well, not punished, but kind of, if you're finding it so easy getting here, have a lot more enemies and things in your way. And more interesting enemies as well, different enemies. There's still a couple of types I haven't seen yet in scenario 1, so I assume they're going to come in the next ones. But I am really looking forward to playing through those, and hopefully they can fix the save game function so I can at some point have a crack at the 4 to 6 hour one, although that is going to be on multiple sessions. I love the way that bits of the story are kind of teased out when you take search actions in certain places, when you interact with people, and when you make certain choices. There aren't like big choices to be made, but there are definite thematic things that you can seek out if you want to really get to everything. But as we have found out in our various playthroughs, in this scenario at least, the game is happening without you. If you want to just go off into a corner and be investigating all of the search tokens, then the objective is that you don't know about. You don't know what your objective is in the scenarios until you get to a certain point. So the thing that's happening in this scenario is happening whether you like it or not. It's not like in a lot of games when the thing is triggered by you going in there. And from video games as well, that's usually the experience. You go in somewhere, then it's all triggered and you have a certain amount of time to sort everything out. In this, it's happening whether you like it or not. If you waste too many turns, then the game is going to end without you and you're just going to lose. And it does say that in the rulebook as well. If you take too much time, then you're going to lose. Now, one thing that I don't know if this feels a little bit nitpicky, but we do get, and I'll try and bring vague things out, you do end up with evidence, and these are just generic pieces of evidence. These don't relate to specific things that happen in this scenario. Just through doing things, I found evidence of things, and I was kind of looking forward to these coming out in some way in the finale, or maybe getting a better result if I had managed to find more pieces of evidence. And all the evidence did was, in a certain check in the final room, I could discard those pieces of evidence, and basically they would act as clue tokens. I could turn clue symbols into elder sign success symbols and make it easier to do the final check. And that's okay, but I was kind of expecting them to perform some kind of function. Maybe that's going to be addressed in the other scenarios. As I say, I've only played this one, or maybe that's not even an issue. Maybe I'm expecting too much from the game, but it doesn't detract from the fact that I've really enjoyed my time with it so far, and I can't wait to get another session on so I can try out the next scenario. And that's all I've got to say about Mansions of Madness first impressions. And so if that looks good to you, then try it out yourself. And bye everyone.